get through. All right. Revamped Sensational Baby Marketing Playbook. This was a program originally created by Linda Storm, who at InfoMassage USA, and it's chock full of different materials and programs that can help you make your InfoMassage classes the best they can be. And one part of that is making them filled up with different parents to take those classes. So I recently redid the marketing playbook for that program, the Sensational Baby program. It's 18 pages long, full of information, and you'll be able to access that using the member portal for CEIMs. And if you scan this QR code, you can have that ready on your mobile device to look at after the presentation. All right, so give it a quick scan and then I'll move on in a couple seconds. All right, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Before we begin, I really want to emphasize that you don't have to do everything that we talk about in this presentation. There are so many different tactics available with marketing and advertising, and it's not essential to try everything. I just want you guys to try new things and see what works and not to overload yourself. I just want you to take on the tactics that you feel that you can do successfully and empower yourself to try. If something's not working, that's okay. Like, it's just good to try, but I just really want to emphasize, because there's so many possibilities, you don't have to do everything. Just try and see what works best for you. Okay, so to start, we're going to talk about building your personal brand. In today's world where we are so connected, there are so many different people that are starting their own businesses, and it's really important to make your business unique. So remind yourself that you're not just selling InfoMassage, you're selling yourself and what makes you unique, what makes you special. So people connect with other people. So I want you guys to communicate with who you are, so parents are more interested in your classes. If someone just sees an empty website with no pictures of you or no information about what you provide as an individual, they're not going to get that unique aspect of what you bring to the table when it comes to InfoMassage classes, and they're going to be less likely to hit register for when it comes to a class. So to think about what your brand can look like and feel like and sound like, there are some questions I want you to ask yourself. So what's your why? Why do you have this passion that's bringing you to teach these classes? What makes your background unique? Whether that's like an experience thing, or if there's a specific form of education that you've studied, if there's something interesting about your cultural background that can connect with a specific audience, that's something to think about. Do you offer anything in addition to InfoMassage? There are some people that in their classes that they teach the massage strokes, they also teach about something else that they have experience in or that they are considered an expert in. Is there anything like that that you can add to make you and your brand unique? Is there a specific group you want to reach? A lot of people have classes that are specific to fathers or specific to mothers, like with maybe postpartum depression, different things like that. Or if there's a specific identity group that you want to focus on and get connected. And really just which of your achievements fuel your passion, thinking about your background and your experience, like what you've accomplished, what makes you you. And then so your brand, when you think about who you are and how you want to come across, it's going to come across through text and visuals. And so the tone on your website and your social media and your different advertisings it needs to sound like your personality. And also we want it to look like you. So a lot of people are concerned about graphic design, and I'm lucky to say that in 2023, you don't have to be a graphic designer to make great artwork. Canva is a really easy tool that has a free option available with tons of templates available for you to make your designs. And I highly recommend you use it. It's what I use to make this presentation. It's really simple and easy, and you don't have to look perfect to look like you. I just want you to choose the colors that you feel represents your passion for your craft, and continue that as a through line. So anybody that looks at your content understands who you are and why you do what you do, and then from there chooses you as their CM. All right, so next, your website. This is the hub of your business. It's the most important part of communicating your brand to the world. So it doesn't need to be fancy, but it is one of the first places that people go to learn more about your classes so they can register. So you don't have to build it from scratch. There are two great options that I recommend because they have templates for the websites, for your website already created, and you can just drag in pictures and information that you need to put in there. So something that I use specifically for my own personal website as a brand strategist is Squarespace. There's a little bit of a learning curve, but Google and YouTube are your best friends for like getting the help that you need. And then also Wix, I haven't used specifically. But again, I know it has the same setup with 10 templates that you can use, and you just plug in your information, change the colors around to match who you are. And there you go. All right. So what are the things that you need to include? So the really bare necessities, you need contact information. People need to be able to reach you. You need a system where people can sign up for your classes. You know, that's obviously important. You want a description of the class. So this is going to go back to that tone aspect of communicating who you are and your personality. You want to communicate what your class is all about, what people are getting out of it, aside from just the basic science based benefits of infant massage, but also like remember to amplify like the connection, the attachment, the emotional benefits of infant massage. You want a mission statement. So what is it that drives you? What's your goal for teaching these classes? That's something that people want to see. And again, obviously about me. We want to know about you. So share information about you, whether it's your hobbies, where you grew up, your experience, communicate who you are so people know of you as a person rather than just a teacher. And then some optional things, I really highly recommend that if you've already taught classes, get some testimonials from the parents that you've taught and include those quotes so people find you more reputable. Also, if you have the time, again, optional, it might be helpful to include a few blog posts about your experiences with infant massage and the things that you teach in your classes. So again, people have another chance to get to know you and why you care about nurturing touch. And then so the last suggestion when it comes to website building is to make a Google Workplace account so your email can match your business domain. So you're going to look a lot more professional if you are like, say, Sarah at yourbusinessname.com. It communicate when someone sees an email from you with that, they know, oh, this is a professional, this is someone I can trust. It's also great to have a Google Workplace account so you can collect reviews from parents, and that can help you get noticed when they are searching for classes near them or classes online. And again, the last thing is this can also help you get a Google phone number so you don't get constant calls on your personal number. And so you know if it's going to the Google phone number, it's always going to be connected to the classes. So if you scan this QR code here, that's going to take you to a link where you can set up that account. All right, if you want to, I'll give another few seconds, but I do got to keep going. We have a lot to get through. All right, moving on. The next thing we want to talk about is social media. Now, this I know can be intimidating to a lot of people. Find social media a bit scary, but it is pretty integral to any business in today's modern age, especially one built on connections, because that's all about what we do. So we want to connect with parents so the parents can connect with their babies. So the best bets are Facebook and Instagram, and luckily they are actually owned by the same company, so that can help you with some of the back end stuff. But Instagram has a little bit younger of an audience, so it's going to be helpful for those new parents. but both are great options. And I also want to say, if you only have time to dedicate yourself to one, that's okay. Like, it is completely fine. Just choose one and just do your best. So like I was saying, Instagram and Facebook are both owned by the parent company Meta, and that's helpful because it gives you the opportunity to use the best Meta Business Manager. And there is, in the Sensational Baby Marketing Playbook document that I talked about at the beginning, I have a article linked where it explains how to use it a little bit. But this gives you a little bit of insight into how your posts are performing. And also, when you're ready, and you don't have to be ready anytime soon, it is an opportunity to put money behind some of your posts so they can be seen by a wider array of people that you want to see them. So it can help you get classes if that's what you're advertising. And then one thing I wanted to say is that for Facebook, you are going to make a professional account that's connected to your personal account. So you're going to need them separately. And that's just something to be aware of. Okay, so I'm just highlighting a couple of features on Facebook. I imagine that a lot of you guys have used Facebook before, but I really want to focus on using Facebook events. That's a great way to highlight in a class coming up in the future. And you can have people that sign up for it say that they're going to the event, and make that and have them share the event so their friends come with them. That's a really great way to get people to come to your classes, is for people to know that someone else that they know is coming. So if they click on that event, say that they're going, and then share it, they might have other friends who are like young parents come with them. Also, I recommend that you join Facebook groups in your community to advertise your classes. Every neighborhood across America has a Facebook group that you can join and just pop in and write in a little thing saying, hey, I'm having an infant massage class next month. And if there are any parents with young children who want to prepare for that and learn how to connect with their baby in that way, I'm available. And you can even just join groups in different areas that you want to advertise to. Like, just join as many of these groups as possible. There are even groups, there are all sorts of groups just dedicated to parenting specifically. So this is a great option. All right, next we're going to go into Instagram, which some of you may be a little bit less familiar with, but it is a social media platform that really prioritizes images. It started with just photos, and now there are videos. So I'm going to start with those videos because that is what Instagram is currently promoting in its algorithm. So you're going to see a lot of videos, mostly because that's what they want to prioritize. So this is a video that Stephanie Ward made, and she's going to be joining us soon. And I just wanted to share it as a basis for like a example of what these videos can look like, because they're really successful. All right. And again, you don't have to make these videos if you don't want to, if you feel like it's too complicated, but Instagram does make it really easy because you can make it all within the app, really simple. It can just be you talking to a camera, but it's going to help you get noticed, and it's going to be a way for you to connect with your audience on a personal level. So they see you, they see why you care about what you care about, and they see this is the person that I want to spend the money to take this class for. So yeah, you can start simple. And one thing that I recommend is using the sounds, the audio, the music behind the content. And because people often search for the specific audio that's trending, and it helps you get your reels more frequently noticed. And I have a video linked in the Sensational Baby Marketing Playbook that has details on how to use that most effectively. All right. And then other features on Instagram, we have our stories. So if you see at the top here, you have all of these small circles. If you click on those, these show posts that are only available. Wait, sorry, we have another microphone on. Can we turn that microphone off, please? Okay. So the circles at the top are these stories. They're only available for 24 hours, but I recommend that you use these because you can share every post that you make on Instagram to your story, and it helps it get noticed more. You can also share posts from other people, which is what I recommend, because as a creator, it is an opportunity for you to form community with everybody else on social media, and that helps people get to know you better and become a part of the community. So if you share posts from other people, that builds that connection with them. And then lastly, you can add these stories to your highlights, as you'll see in a second. So these are these small ones right here, and these are those 24-hour videos that were once on your account, and you can make it permanent by adding it to your highlights. So for us, we have a benefits highlight, an about highlight, and a training highlight. So if we click on the benefits highlight, it shows one of those posts that we made before. All right. And a couple other features that I want to put out there. Instagram doesn't have an events feature, but it does have a reminder feature. So if you make a post about one of your future classes, you can add a reminder to it. And that means that anybody who sees that post can tap on a button to get reminded for when the event is happening. So then they'll get a reminder 24 hours before the event and then an hour before the event. So to make sure that they attend the event that you are having. And then another thing is there are tons of popular hashtags amongst parents, such as like mom life, parent life, dad life. And people often search for these hashtags to see content that speaks to them. So I recommend that you use these hashtags. And I have a list of, I believe, 25 great hashtags to use in the Sensational Baby Marketing Playbook. And if you didn't catch it before, I have a QR code at the end of the presentation that you can scan to get that information. All right. And the last thing for Instagram is you cannot add a link to any individual posts, but you can create a link tree. I should have put in a QR code so you could scan it and take it to the Linktree website, but it's a free service where you can make one link that connects you to all of the different things that you have access to. So this is what the InfoMassage USA Linktree looks like. It has all of our social media at the top and then different things. So we have this marketing webinar, our newest podcast, our website, our InfoMassage USA annual conference. All right. And then, so I have some post ideas for you. So take photos from your classes. This is a really simple one. People want to see that what you do in action. Inspirational quotes about family. People love to eat up any quote that you have about like why family is beautiful and why connection is beautiful. A testimonial from a parent that you taught. That's always good, people to build up your reputation. Maybe some scientific info about a benefit of InfoMassage that will connect with the audience that you want to connect with. A link to a blog or article that is related to family or InfoMassage or anything else that's in your expertise, or a relatable story from your experience as a caregiver. Anytime that you can focus on you and what you bring to the table, and as a parent yourself or as a teacher and a professional, that is a great opportunity to post. And then lastly, for social media, some tips. So I recommend that you like and comment on posts from parents and other CEIMs, because this brings you into their community and creates that stronger relationship that you want. Next, I want you to leave a clear call to action in a lot of your posts. So I want you to specifically say, click the link in my bio to go to my website to sign up for a class, or share this with 3 of your favorite parent friends. Give them something to do so that they can take action towards furthering your brand. And I want you to post a mix of entertaining and informative content. If you have too much informational stuff, it might feel like a science project rather than a family project. So you want to have that mix of telling people about something they need to know about, and then also entertaining them with that loving content that is related to the family aspect. Next, it's really helpful if you use a social media calendar tool. One of the best free ones that we just started using at Infant Massage USA is called Metricool. Write that down because I don't think I have that in the playbook. Metricool. And the next, post about Infant Massage USA and Sensational Baby to further establish your credibility. If you're a part of an organization that is known for like its expertise in something, that helps you. All right, before we get to the next section, I do want to just slow down. Is there anything? Oh, thank you so much, Talisha. I see that you like helped with some of the links. That's awesome. Okay. I realize that we have a lot to go, that I've gotten through a lot, but I want to just, is there anything that anybody needs like specifically clarified? You can just hop in the chat. Give you guys another minute. I also just need a water break. Okay. Seems like you guys are good. So I'm going to keep going with local communities. So if you're planning on hosting in-person classes locally, nowadays there are a lot of virtual classes. Both are great. In-person is probably a bit more better for that connective experience, but both are awesome. There are a variety of strategies to get connected with parents in your area. So by employing some of these ideas, you'll establish a name for yourself and generate positive word of mouth. Word of mouth is the thing that you want. If you get parents talking about you in your class, you have the golden ticket. That's what you really want to drive. You want people to tell other people to go to you. So the first easy thing that you can do is create posters everywhere in your community. I mean, if everybody goes to the local Starbucks or whatever local coffee shop or local Panera or anything where you can, anywhere where you can put a poster board where people go, that's just an easy opportunity just to print something out and put something on a wall. We have Sensational Baby branded posters available for you in the member portal that you can use, but you can also go on Canva, as I was suggesting, and create one that is more specific towards you. So you can put in that picture of you with a welcoming smile that will connect with people. Second, I'd want to reiterate, really focus on joining local Facebook groups. It's so easy to just go into these different neighborhood groups and advertise your classes. Or if you see that there is like a parent talking about parenting for an infant, I mean, I think it's so totally fine to like DM them and be like, hey, there's this opportunity available.
Fire and the OEMC, Office of Emergency Management. That this is something that you
All right.
have worked
Excuse
on.
me, can you please turn off your microphone? So sorry. Thank you. All right, so connect with local organizations. So libraries and schools, pediatricians, the local YMCA, religious organizations, foster and adoption agencies. It really never hurts to reach out and get your name out there. There's a lot that they can do, and you guys can brainstorm together to figure out a way to get the word out about what you do. Even if they say no, like you tried, it's okay. For a pediatrician specifically, like if you could have a brochure in a pediatrician's office that's like amazing for people in the waiting room, like looking for something to entertain themselves, and they see this opportunity like waiting for them. It's great to just establish those connections so you guys can work together to serve the parents in your community. Another opportunity is to give a presentation or host a demo. That can either mean talking about like the science behind infant massage in some sort of presentation for parents, or if you have like a little bit of a demo where you share a little bit about infant massage and the infant massage strokes, just a tiny little bit. Don't give them too much because your time is valuable and your time deserves to be paid for. But giving people like a taste of what's available is great for getting a foot in the door. And then, so I talked a little bit about social media before, and if you're specifically putting your classes out there in your local community, it's a great opportunity to talk on social media about your community. So you're establishing yourself not only as an expert and a leader in the field of infant massage in your community, but you're establishing yourself as a leader of your community by, showing that you have that experience and that expertise in your community and like you caring about where you live and the people that you live with. Next, community listservs. There are so many email chains. I mean, I know in Richmond, Virginia, I am on a bunch of and so if you can get connected with the people that run those email chains and just say like, hey, I have this opportunity available for people in this area, and I would love for people in my community to be aware of this so they can take this opportunity, you can definitely figure something out and get your name out there that way. But like I said before, your best friend is just having the parents that you teach tell other parents about it. That's what we call that snowball marketing for people who work in advertising, just word of mouth, getting the name out there. So really don't be afraid to ask your parents to refer their friends to your class. You can even ask your parents for their friends' information if they're comfortable giving that out. And then you also might consider offering a discount to parents who refer their friends. Any way that you can motivate people to talk to the people that they know, it's a great bet. Okay. All right, moving forward. So as I was just talking about a little bit, a discount can go a long way. However you price your classes it is worth it. I mean, every dollar that goes towards you is absolutely deserved. You guys do amazing work connecting families, but a little bit of a discount can go a long way. Everybody loves a bargain. I love a bargain. I'm sure you guys love a bargain. So we know your classes are worth every penny you charge, but nothing motivates a registration more than a deal. So we have some tips on how to use discounts to your advantage. So it's not just benefiting them, it's benefiting you because you're getting more feet in the door. So just a few ideas. Have the parents host the class at their house and they can get a discount for that. One of the things that costs you a little bit of money is when you have to reserve a space for your infant massage classes. And if you don't charge enough, you might end up being out money because sometimes it's really expensive to rent a space to host. So if someone offers to host the class at their house, maybe that deserves a discount. If you can get a group of friends, a group of parent friends to organize all the participants in the class together, maybe that deserves a discount because you didn't have to reach out to so many people. They did all the work for you. So you can maybe give them a discount. And then so more groups of friends are going to be interested in joining together. You have that mass flock of people coming to your classes. Like I said before, a discount for people who refer their friends or get referred by their friends. We just really want to generate that word of mouth however we can. And then also discount celebrating specific holidays as pertaining to family, whether that's Mother's Day, Father's Day, Valentine's Day, Christmas, Hanukkah, whatever. If that holiday, connects family, that's an opportunity to celebrate family with a discount for your classes. All right. So before we conclude, I really want to encourage you guys to think about planning. So like I said at the beginning of this presentation, you don't have to do all of this, but I do want you to pick ahead of time the tactics that you want so you don't overwhelm yourself trying to do everything and then try to play catch up. So you're just going to be the most effective possible if you plan ahead and stick to that plan. So I really want you to start with goal setting. So decide on a span of time that you're planning for and set realistic goals for what you'd hope to accomplish. So maybe think, okay, I'm going to plan for the next 6 months on how to market my classes. And then I want to accomplish this. I want to earn this much money. I want to teach this amount of classes. I want this number of new parents to join my classes. Think about it that way so you have a realistic set of goals that you're pushing yourself for, but you are able to obtain. And know that it's completely okay if you don't hit those goals. That just means that something you did wasn't working, and you need to find out what that was so you can edit and rework for the next period of time that you're going to plan for. Next, I want you to lay out all of your marketing tactics on a calendar. This helps you stay accountable, and it visually shows you what's happening when. This is going to be really helpful for after that goal setting period concludes, so you can see what was most effective. Like if you earned a lot of money after you maybe spent a little bit of money on a Facebook ad, or you connected with a Facebook group, or you put out a discount, if you see what's successful, you know to double down on that. And if you see one of your tactics wasn't that successful, you know, okay, that's something that either I don't need to do again, or I could do differently next time. Next, I want you to log all of the names you can. Keep a spreadsheet with information on everybody who has taken your class, you know, their name, their email, their phone number, any like specific other details that you want to remember about them. And also everybody who's ever expressed interest. If they like maybe got to the website or DM'd you about asking questions, so you knew that they were interested, write down their name and their social media or whatever contact information you have. So down the line, if you have a class coming up and it still has spots, you can always shoot them an email or shoot them a direct message and let them know like, hey, we have this available. I know that you were interested at one point, and this is an opportunity for you to get back in the game. And the last one, ask every parent how they heard about your class. This is another way of knowing exactly what is working best. So you can double down on that. If everybody's coming in from Facebook groups, like really double down on Facebook groups. All right, lastly, we just have some more tips and tricks. Again, you don't have to do it all, but I just have a list of some more ideas for how to level up your marketing. So like I said before with social media, always leave clear calls to action in every poster or social media post, or email. If you're emailing people, make sure it's very clear, like if they need to go to the website, if they need to email you at this address, if they need to call you at this phone number, make it specific so they know exactly what to do. Do not be afraid to request testimonials. If someone's going to say no, they're going to say no. But it never hurts you to just ask. Next, take photos during class. It's always, always, always great to leave a session or leave a class and have something for you to share with the world to show the impact that you had. And if it's too difficult for you to take photos while you're teaching, consider hiring a professional photographer to come into one of your classes, so they can take some of those pictures, obviously with the parents' permission. And you can use those as like a bank of content options for the future. Always keep business cards on you. So if anybody ever expresses interest, you can just hand them a business card and they know who to call when they're ready. Connect with local news outlets. People don't really get that deep into local news anymore, but someone might. So it's always best to just shoot someone an email and get someone's contact information, and just have that contact like ready in case they want to help you. Next, I talked about this earlier. My apologies, I'm getting over being sick. You can make brochures that pediatricians can share in their office. That's a great way to help you share your expertise. If a pediatrician trusts you, anyone should trust you. You can connect with local childcare experts. If there are other people that teach skills relating to parenting in your community, connect with them, because they are going to offer something different than you do. And you guys can share some of the same clientele. So you're serving your community the best way that you can, by sharing, you know, your specific thing while connecting with them so they can share their specific thing, and you guys can work together to get as much business as possible. I recommend purchasing some sensational baby merch and wearing it in public, because if that can be a conversation starter, that is a beautiful thing. If someone asks you, hey, what is that? Like, what is Sensational Baby or what is Infant Massage USA? You can share with them what it is and what you do and why they should be interested, or why they should share it with some of their friends who would be interested. At your local library, request Vimmel and McClure's Infant Massage, a handbook for loving parents, so more people are aware and interested in infant massage in your community. You can ask previous clients to share your class calendar with their friends. If you just put them maybe on an email list and you share your calendar for the future on that email list, they can forward it to their friends. Encourage parents to post on social media at the end of classes. I mean, obviously you want them, I would assume it's your class, so your choice, but I would assume you want them to be unplugged during the class itself. But if they post on their Instagram story or post a Facebook post about their class, that's going to be really, really good for you because it's getting more people in the door. Connect with local organizations supporting specific communities, whether that's like a religious community or a community for like different disabilities. There are so many nonprofit organizations locally. They're all opportunities to connect with more people and work with more people that need served. A couple more. So there is a tool called Calendly, and that's really helpful for scheduling consults. So you can have 15-minute conversations with people about what you do if they have some questions before they hit register. And that's a great way to like really get them to click register on your website. Research your area for some guidelines on pricing and seeing how much people are willing to spend, so you are pricing yourself the right way. Also on the document that I've been talking about this whole presentation, there is a whole section on pricing and a link to our price calculator for how much to price your classes. So that will help you, but really just research like what options are available in terms of parenting classes in your community, so you find a need that needs filling. And sometimes you need to explain more than you think you have to. You know everything, but others don't. And I want you, I mean, as much as you are building your brand around you, I want you to think about your audience that you want to reach, and build your class and the content that you post around that audience, and make sure that's inclusive. Make sure anybody feels comfortable and safe in your presence, in your community that you build in your classes, regardless of any identity factors. Really make sure that you are inclusive as possible, and you are sharing photos with inclusive people in the content, so anybody feels comfortable joining. They don't feel like they're registering for a space that doesn't serve them. You want to make sure that you're serving everybody and marketing that you serve everybody. And then always, always, always check for mistakes, because we are all human. Okay, so we got it. We got through it. We're at the conclusion. There's so many marketing opportunities available to you, and I really want to remind you, you don't have to take them all. Start small, build your brand, and find what works best for you. You guys are going to do amazing, and I'm so thankful that you all came to join this presentation, and I hope you guys all got something out of it. And I really appreciate your time, and I'm ready to answer any questions that you have. So you guys got this. You're going to do amazing. And I want you to feel so confident teaching your classes. You guys are the best. So here are the links again. Up here, we have the membership portal, and that is going to take you to that, or there you can find the Sensational Baby Materials, which has the marketing playbook. So that's the top QR code if you didn't scan it at the beginning of the presentation. Also at the bottom, we have registration for our annual conference that is on June 7th and 8th. It's a really great opportunity to hear from a lot of expert speakers in the Nurturing Touch Infant Massage realm. One of them is Stephanie Ward, who you're about to meet. So like, okay, take a few more seconds to scan those QR codes. All right, and then I am going to go to Q&A. So introducing Stephanie Ward. She is a CM, and she owns her own business, Stand Tall Parenting, and it's doing amazing. She is doing such amazing work connecting with parents and helping them along the way. And I'm so grateful to have her to help me answer all of your questions to the best of your ability. But yeah, okay, I'm gonna stop the share. And then I'm going to open up, and we have Stephanie. Hi, thank you so much. Do you want to introduce yourself for a second?
Yes, thank you, Nick, for the introduction. A round of applause. That was a great presentation that Nick is putting on. So, as you know, my name is Stephanie Ward, and my company is Stand Tall Parenting. So I'm just here to answer any of your questions, burning questions that you have, so I can better support you. So I'm gonna leave it open to everyone right now.
All right. Okay, so Lauren is struggling with securing a location. Are there any tips on how to secure a location for groups?
That's a great question. I know, Nick, you kind of shared in your previous slide of locations to collaborate with. So, maybe having the parent host in their home, in their backyard. I've actually had parents kind of make like a whole brunch out of it. So you can,
that's a great idea.
right? You can encourage that. Also, connecting with like your local library is a great resource. I think you also had a list of like foster and adopted parents. So I would just give, YMCA, give them a call and connect. And keep in mind that you might get a lot of no's, but just because you get the no's doesn't mean you can swing back again and give a call, because surprisingly, folks that said no to me a few years ago are actually reaching out to me again on working with me because of the success. So, just really keep trying and keeping a list. I know for me, I'm very list oriented. So write a list of places you want to contact. Maybe you want to do 3 a day, and that's all you can do. So you can write their name, their phone number, what time you called, email, who to speak with. So that way you can follow up with an email as well.
All right. And then I'm trying to go in order. So Samantha said, are there specific days and times that you found are more popular for parents? That's a good question.
I know. So, so it really all depends. There isn't like a magic date. I offer classes in the evening. I've offered classes in the morning during the week. Sometimes on the weekends, I do teach baby massage classes during the weekends. So play around with it and see what works best. If you have like an Instagram or a Facebook page, I always suggest to do like a story or a link where folks can kind of do like a poll to see when the best time is. Like, so if you're not familiar with Google Forms, it's free and it's easy, really simple to use. So you can just quickly create a Google form to create some times, and that should be helpful.
Okay, next question. Whitney said she's experiencing a lot of challenges creating trust and relationships with local pediatricians in the Harrisonburg, Virginia area. Awesome that we have more Virginians. Any tips on that?
So can you elaborate that on creating trust? What were some of the feedback that you received? Did you speak with them on the phone? Did you go in person? What are some of the barriers that you're encountering? Because I know for me, it's always great to, now that we can do more things in person, right? It's great to kind of go in to introduce yourself, or maybe even call to figure out the best time you want to speak with somebody, sending out an email. So if you can kind of elaborate a little bit more with me as to what are some of the challenges?
Yes. Hi, Stephanie. So really happy to be here with you. I hosted a local infant massage training that was statewide in 2016, and Deanna Elliott flew in from Colorado. I think Linda connected with her and picked her up. I studied out in Crestone with her for a while. So she helped create the documentary, and I just love her. Like, been in the field for 40 years. She's continued to be my mentor. And people were funded from major urban areas and other parts of Virginia to come. And I felt like there was so much recognition of massage in other places. So I know this is more of a rural area. And after that, in 2016, I went to every single local pediatrician office. I shared like in-person brochures. I gave like complimentary sessions. I just tried to reach out, and that was like 40 different people. One person took me up, and another person volunteered to share my flyers for free with like all the families that came in. build a relationship with one pediatrician, but I just felt like such a brick wall. Like there just wasn't as much respect for massage, even when I was working with adults.
Mhm.
And I built that up a lot. So yeah, I studied different trends about like rural versus urban, but
Yeah.
also like they were too busy. Like, how do I actually meet these people?
Yeah, so I would definitely, because you mentioned in 2016, have you met with them currently?
So let's see. I kept an email list of people that were interested in infant massage and any other local birth workers, and I invited them to all the classes. This is like my recent inspiration to start to get group classes going again. I used to teach them at a local natural birth center, and since COVID started, I've just been doing private sessions one-on-one until trying to pick that up again. So not recently.
I would definitely reach out again. And then as far as the pediatrician, maybe like Nick, you kind of had a good idea about the book. I know you mentioned having the book in the Infant Massage USA book in the library, maybe kind of educating the pediatricians and giving them a book or an article, or
Yeah.
maybe direct them to, you know, a video that I'm sure that there's like a video that's probably shared, and really kind of build that trust. And just kind of thinking about if you're trying to really connect, just regroup, because sometimes it can be really frustrating. Like for me, when I'm trying to connect and there's no connection there, I go on to something else, and surprisingly, they might come back. Maybe they're just not ready for it now. So explore other areas that you can connect with. If it's pediatricians, it's just not working. Maybe it's the library, maybe it's YMCA, maybe it's other local organizations that you can connect with. Maybe it's partnering with the doula, you know, having shared clientele, right? They
Yeah.
focus on babies. So rather than compete, collaborate. And then maybe that might spring up another idea, or if they see you working with different folks in the community, then it can definitely help you. So I hope that answered your question, Whitney. And feel free to reach out as well.
I would also say, like, think about, like, no matter who you're connecting with, always just think about your audience. And so if you're connecting with a pediatrician, an academic is going to respond well to other academics. So maybe, yeah, I think that the idea to share like a research article from an academic research institution that you have found that, you know, talks about why what you're doing is worth it and important and should be celebrated and shared with the community is a great idea. Also, I saw Ruby's comment, and I do want to apologize that I used the words parent throughout, or the parents throughout my presentation, and I should have said caregivers, because obviously anybody who is taking care of children should be taking these classes, because they benefit all people, whether they're parents, caregivers, like people in foster care, grandparents. So I thank you for pointing that out. So Christine asked, how do you accept payment for classes before or after classes? I saw people in the comments saying
Always before.
always before, and for the full course, not just the one at a time. So thank you for people in the class or in the comments answering that question.
Yes, and if you're looking for form of payments, I use PayPal, Zelle, and Venmo. I was initially against Zelle and Venmo, but I received a lot of pushback. So now I do PayPal, Zelle, and Venmo, and always make sure you pay up front. And when you have a contract, like if somebody wants to do a payment plan, I have them complete a contract if that's what you feel comfortable doing. But if you want to do it like in 2 payments, you can, because I've had parents do that and I haven't received issues on that end.
Okay. Jennifer asked, what's a good price point for the 5-class series? So like everybody is going to have a different price because everybody lives in different areas with people who are communities that are willing to spend more or less, and there maybe like have a higher or lower need. That's just like the rules of like supply and demand. So you're going to have to do research into your community specifically, and on the Sensational Baby Marketing Playbook, there is a whole chapter on pricing and what to look into in research when it comes to pricing. And also we have our pricing calculator on the membership portal. Anything else to add, Stephanie?
Just always consider supplies, gas, insurance, consider all of those factors, even printing, making folders or what have you. So make sure you consider those as well.
All right, Melinda said, oh, whoops, I missed it. My challenge is finding an agency that is interested in having infant massage classes. For example, I have reached out to the local doula collective in my area and was told that the parents were not interested. What advice do you recommend?
I would try to research other doulas. Maybe it's just that particular doula is not interested. So go to different doulas. I would also follow doulas as well, and create a relationship. Maybe you can share some of their business cards. I actually am connected with a doula, so we constantly share each other's business cards. So I would try to find a doula that wants to work with you. And there are tons. If you go on Instagram or Facebook, I'm sure you can probably find one in your local area. And as far as agencies, like what Nick was mentioning, always have brochures ready. I always like call randomly, like, hey, I'm Stephanie Ward, from Stand Tall Parenting. This is what I offer. Right. And sometimes it can be a bit scary, but if you get nervous on the phone, have some writing points and practice. I always practice anytime I have a conversation with somebody. So just calling and list of places to see who can who can be more interested in you. And you never know who's watching too, and referring other people, because that's how I've gotten work. I'll do a class and I had no idea someone else was there, and they're like, I love the way you present, let's collaborate. So always make sure that you're on and you're doing, I'm sure all of you are doing your best. I know we have so many questions, so I will definitely respond to them via email.
Yeah. One thing I do want to talk about, because Stephanie, you and I had a long conversation about this yesterday. Saniqua, and I apologize if I mispronounced that, but Saniqua said, what kind of insurance policy would be good to purchase for doing infant massage, and what would we need to have massage therapy type of insurance?
So I would definitely Google insurance companies. You always want to make sure you have, when you are seeking insurance, you want to make sure you have a professional one, because someone can actually sue, and I learned this, someone can sue you based on what you share with them. So make sure you cover yourself. And then secondly, make sure you have like an in-person, usually they ask for like $1 million. So it all depends on your price point, where you want to go. I believe Michael Curtis kind of shared this one insurance. I'm not sure if he's here, if he wants to put in the chat, but there was a one insurance, but I didn't go with them. I went to somewhere else. So I would just say, just Google an insurance company, just small business insurance, and it'll pop up, because there's so many different prices out there. So it all based on your budget as well.
All right. And Talisha recommended ABMP. That's what.
Yes, that's what it was. Yes. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So Nancy asked, why is it better to charge before the sessions?
Well, one, somebody can just go away and not pay you. So you always want, it's just quick story. I remember this woman hired me for a private in-person class. I said, I'll pay you with a check. I went there and I said, oh, here's a contract, a check. She's like, why would I pay you first? It's like when you go to the grocery store, when you have meat in your cart, you don't pay for the meat, you wait for it to exit the store, right? And so that was a huge learning lesson, that I don't accept checks or cashier's checks. That's why it's only PayPal. Before I even go in the car, you need to have that. Even if they say, I promise, sadly, there's people out there that are like that.
Yeah, that's important. Not a question, but Linda said to share information with baby photographers. And I think that's such a great idea. ABMP is familiar with Infant Massage USA and offers discounts to members. That's awesome.
And what makes reading over that, if you cannot afford a professional photographer, our phones are great. So I've had where, you have like the ring in the stands and you can just do like a 10-second timer and they can take a picture. Or you can invite a friend, or if someone, like I did a class at the library and the woman that was hosting, that was part of the baby party, she took pictures of that. So there's ways around it, and there's like filters if you don't have the funds to hire a professional.
Rosa said, I was thinking about offering infant massage in Spanish to better support my community. What are your thoughts on this? Our thoughts are absolutely.
Yes.
Of course, we love
Yes.
that.
Absolutely. Any language that yes, please, we need to be able to serve everyone and inclusive and being inclusive. Absolutely. It's a huge need.
Okay. Any other questions that I missed? If I missed something, feel free to put it in the chat, or if you have another one. I know we're at time, but I just want to make sure that your needs are met.
I know Ruby had a question. Are we limiting classes? Maybe you already addressed it to parents, caregivers. It can be, so you always want to make sure that you're not training a doula to teach, or you're not a trainer. So really know your role, because I've had doulas tell me, oh, I'll pay you so you can teach me how to do, infant massage on my clients. You have to refer them to a trainer, and you're not a trainer. But anybody, it could be adopted parents, it could be foster parents, it could be aunts and uncles.
One thing Ruby pointed out was to get a photo release form for all of the people in your classes. That's really important. And also wanted to plug again, I can put the QR code up again, but on the membership portal in the Sensational Baby materials, one of the materials is a photo release form ready, so you don't have to make one for yourself. You can just print that out from the membership portal and give that to the people that take your classes, so that you protect yourself from any legal issues you might have if you post photos from your classes.
Iris had a question about size. So if you're going to do it in person, I always keep it to 10, whether it's virtual or in person, because you don't want to overstimulate the room with the babies. And when you're doing it in Zoom, you want to be able to see all of the boxes and make sure they have their camera on, because how would you know that they're doing the massages correctly? And so that kind of goes into, I'm not sure if you shared this earlier, but some parents will say, can you just share a video? I looked on YouTube, letting them know that's a great start. But it's important to have a trained professional show you how to do the massage strokes, because you don't want to harm yourself or harm the baby. So that's an important piece.
Okay, we're getting more questions. So I do, because we are over time and I want to respect Stephanie's time. Steph, can we do one more, Stephanie?
Oh, of course, yeah.
Okay. So should we include waivers in our business?
Yes. Always have it signed up prior. I mean, there's DocuSign, there's so many different platforms that you can electronically have folks sign where it's easy. What I typically do is I call the parents and I let them know, hey, these are the class guidelines. I read over it. Do you have any questions or concerns at this time? That way it is already addressed. And if they're like, I have no questions, then I send it to them electronically and it quickly fills out. That way you protect yourself and you protect others. I'm a sole proprietor. I'm not an LLC. I'm in the process of LLC. The difference between a sole proprietor and LLC is just, if someone's trying to sue you, I know I'm kind of talking about the suing, they can sue like my property, Stephanie Ward, because I'm a sole proprietor. But if I'm an LLC, they just sue the company. So you always want to make sure you take care of yourself. And I'm not sure if you touch on this, Nick, but have a coach. If you can connect with a coach, I know they have a Score. It's a free platform that you can definitely just Google Score small business. They have free business coaches that you can connect with.
Okay. All right. So because we are 8:04, so I do want to end it here. But Stephanie, do you want to put your contact information in the chat so people can connect with you? And then also I'm going to share my screen once more. So You guys can just
Hold on.
leave that up there. But thank you guys so much for coming and for being a part of this presentation. I hope that you all learned something from it. We hope to do more of these and get more information to you. So we will be emailing you these slides, links to the full Sensational Baby marketing playbook, and also a survey so we can like get a better understanding of how this went for you and how we can better serve you in the future. So thank you guys so much for coming. I'll leave this up for a couple minutes longer. But yeah, thank you so much.